Everybody, welcome to Coffee with Malcolm. It is February 6th, 2025. It's a Thursday morning. The weather proposes to be very nice outside today, with some scattered showers and so forth here in Georgia. So I have my coffee as usual. Let's get started. Of course, I'm a little cumbersome getting everything going at first, but yeah, we'll get there. All right, so let's get this thing fired up. Log in. There we go. We got our poll going for today. Got some new stuff that came in this morning as well that we talked about. Got this guy right here. What is that? It's a huge tube. Yeah, it was a tube, but it came in with our world map. We can start scratching off countries that have visited us on the live stream. So there you go, guys. Something came in that we can use. I've already scratched off a couple of countries. I'll bring the camera over to that here in just a minute. Let's see here. Let's get our poll going right now. And we'll say, bum, 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 bum. Oh, I can't spell. Boop, there it is. And we need one more. What's another one I can list on this? I'm trying to think. How's everybody doing this morning anyway? You can say that in the chat. Get things going. There's Dino. Hello, Dino. How's it going? I'm about to pull our poll up. Country to vacation in. I got 3 options down. I need to pull the 4th one down. I'm not trying to be biased. It only lets me do 4 options. So let's do this one. There we go. So now we got our poll coming up for you guys to participate in, and so forth and so on. But yeah, I got our world map. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, wrong way. But as you can see on the wall behind me, we have the map. And as you scratch off different countries, it reveals the color behind it. Green, blue, yellow, whatever, red type colors. I don't know until you scratch it off to find out. Now, it does let me pinpoint different states here in the United States where I am. It's extremely small. It came with a second map just for the United States, but I did not put that up. I just did the world map so we could look at that. But anyway, enough of that. Let's dive into some interesting news going on this morning. I don't know how much you guys around the world ever heard of Waffle House before, but it's a diner that's all over the eastern United States. It's very popular, and for breakfast items and lunch, you get burgers, steaks, eggs, you get all kinds of stuff, and waffles, of course, at Waffle House. And because of the egg thing that's going on here in the States with this bird flu, and they've been having to, like, when a chicken farm gets identified with bird flu, they have to kill every chicken in the farm. They have to exterminate all of them and start all over again. Well, that reduces the number of eggs being produced, and therefore your price of eggs go up. And Waffle House has decided to charge 50 cents extra per egg to eat in their restaurants until this whole thing subsides. So people are freaking out about 50 cents on an egg. It is a little, 50 cents doesn't seem like much to Americans, but if it's just a fried egg, you break that down, you're pretty much paying 50 cents per egg right now at the grocery store, honestly. And have them cook it up for you and serve it, it's kind of it doesn't seem unreasonable to me. So, yeah. Loki's here. Yeah, $12 for a dozen of eggs. You can get eggs for like $6 a dozen if you go to the right store. And that's if you want like organic or cage free, you're gonna pay a lot more for those type of eggs. People like to get sometimes. But yeah, eggs are quite expensive right now. It seems to be a talking point. It was a huge talking point during the election. I thought it was kind of humorous. All the things we could be talking about in the world that we could solve, people were freaking out about the price of eggs. So the incredible edible egg has made its way into the news, and we are all having to pay for it if you decide to eat eggs in the first place. Ah, like I mentioned before, I used to have chickens at the other house I lived in, and four chickens would give you eggs for you and your neighbors until they literally tell you to like stop giving me eggs. So um, I've entertained the idea of getting a couple of chickens just because they're really easy to take care of, and a few other benefits of that. Having eggs, and they eat the bugs in the yard, so you don't have a lot of that going on. Um, I may still do that, but probably not this year. That'll probably be next year or something like that. I got to get settled in. I don't want to go do everything all at once, kind of space this stuff out. I got time. There's no reason to rush through it, right? So that's one thing there. I was reading here in our Good News app some good news about plastic and recycling. Cornell University has come up with another way to recycle uh, plastics so that we don't waste as much and it doesn't go into landfills. So that's interesting. I haven't gone into the details. You can always get to the Good News app and really break these things down and see, more about these stories. I'm kind of just throwing some headlines out there and see where our conversation goes. But anyway, what else happened? What else is good news? Not evidently not much else. That's it. I'm only talking about recycling of plastic. And the advances of recycling. They always say that, well, there's been places that come out and said that when you recycle, only like 10% of what you recycle actually gets recycled. A lot of it ends up in landfills anywhere, or gets incinerated somewhere else, or sent to a foreign country where they just dump it in the rivers and ocean. So, yeah. Get an ostrich. Hey, Ramesh, how's it going? Uh, Go to Australia's number one enemy. What would be Australia's number one enemy? We're doing good. We're doing good. I've had my breakfast, had some cereal this morning. I got my coffee going. I'm experimenting on how much coffee beans I need to put in the grinder each morning. I'm trying to find the right balance so I don't waste a bunch of beans, but have a good flavor at the same time. So let's look at this real quick. Some stuff that happened this day in history that I like to touch into as well. The founding document of New Zealand, the Treaty of Waitangi, was signed in 1840. They were in the news in Australia and New Zealand about their native rights as far as being indigenous people on that island, and in their courtroom, in their Congress, if you will, this one lady who's a congresswoman, she started doing this chant, this Indian, I call it Indian, but native to their country type tribal chant. And everybody was getting into it. It was pretty intense. It was in the news a few months ago, and it kind of went viral on a few platforms of her doing this chant, and then it kind of went, showing some other people doing the chant, things like that too. And there's a lot more to the story that I did not read into about, their rights as indigenous people in that area. So, yeah, that's one thing. Let's see. Oh, we got Bob Marley, the groundbreaking reggae musician who achieved international fame with his 1977 solo LP Exodus, which sold 75 million copies worldwide, was born on a farm in Jamaica. The day is a spiritual holiday in Jamaica and Ethiopia since his death from cancer at the age of 36 in 1945. He was born in 45. He only lived 36 years. I didn't know that. Bob Marley only lived 36 years. Huh. Queen Elizabeth ascended to the British throne and eventually became the longest serving queen in England in 1952. Let's mention the reforming of Black Sabbath for one last concert. Well, toe cancer? Is that what Bob Marley died from? Toe cancer? I would just chop my toe off. I don't know. Um, Something else happened at 89 about trade and stuff like that. 7 years ago today, the first Falcon Heavy rocket launched from Cape Canaveral carrying the Tesla Roadster with a crash test dummy behind the driver's seat. The maiden flight clocked in at 5 million pounds of thrust from its 27 engines across two Falcon 9 boosters and was almost a complete success with only some trouble post-launch when the engine restarts meant to make the rockets reusable. Built by SpaceX, didn't quite make it. But that's when he launched 7 years ago when he launched that one of his own cars. Elon Musk launched a Tesla, used his rocket to launch his car, and just let it float in space. And it's still out there. Tesla car with a dummy in it, still floating around. There was some kind of story, some kind of astrologist thought they had spotted a meteor or something in space, and it'd be in the Tesla car. Yeah. So, so much, and then we got so much space junk as it is, that we just go ahead and throw a car with a dummy in it as well. But I guess he had to make his, big stage performance memorable and have people watch it and be like, what the hell, And those rockets, to me, were amazing how they can just land back a stick, just landing on a platform or a barge that's floating out in sea and stick a landing like that. It's quite impressive to me. Because, I grew up with the space shuttle that would have to glide in and hit a runway. Or before that, where the capsules would just, kind of gently land into the ocean and get picked up, which we've gone back to, in a sense, which is kind of strange. But anyway, I'm not a rocket surgeon or a brain scientist, so. I heard somebody say that where they mix the two, brain surgery and rocket scientist, and flipped it around. It sounds comical to me. Little things like that make me laugh. What can I say? Elon Musk is your uncle? Well, I don't know if I'd be bragging about that or not. Babe Ruth was born this day 130 years ago. We were talking about baseball yesterday. Let's see. He played his first game at the age of 18. And they made fun of him having like a beer gut, playing ball, and just being these really stout guys that can swing a bat. Hey, GH, how's it going? This is actually an Ethiopian coffee bean from Ethiopia. It's been roasted at a coffee shop in Birmingham called O. Henry's. And it's got some nice flavor to it. It's not bitter or too strong. It's got a good balanced flavor. I really like it. I drink it black. I don't have an espresso machine. I just have a regular old coffee machine. I know there's like 15,000 ways to make coffee. But yeah, just a good, simple, not a simple coffee bean, but a nice, well-rounded coffee bean. And I like I said, O. Henry's is a local brewery in the Southeast, and they ship the stuff really fast here in the United States, and it's good coffee, fair trade, all that good stuff. I'm sure there are plenty others. There's a place here in Athens called Jittery Joe's. That's a coffee bean that I have not tried in a while. I may give them a shot. Aussie Sabbath days. We're talking about classic rock on here too. I did have a French press. It does give a lot of flavor. It can make it really strong too if you put too many beans in the press. I need to get a little kettle so I can heat water up for a French press. I don't have that right now. I'm just relying on the coffee pot. And it has a timer on it. It starts up in the morning for me automatically, and it's ready to go. And I start walking around in the morning, half awake, and just stumble in there and get a cup of coffee and hit the day. So, GH, what kind of coffee do you like, and do you have a particular brand or flavor that you enjoy that you want to share with us? And Wesley and Loki are trying to figure out if they're going to be able to watch Ozzy on TV in a concert. I can't imagine him doing a concert. He's so old and he mumbles. I don't know if it'd actually be a good concert. He'd probably be sad to see the guy up there, as old as he is, trying to perform his songs and stuff like that. I'm not saying he can't do it, but it looks pretty bad. What was it? The lead singer of Guns N' Roses? He had to do his concert in a wheelchair or something like that. uh, Malky's Flaves. I just like a good, like I said, well balanced coffee. What was it? The guy that I can't remember. I can't think of names too well. The singer. I know he's the singer for Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose, and yeah, he did a concert with like in a wheelchair or something like that. It's like, gee, it's embarrassing. You know, if you think about him in his younger years when he's like running and jumping all over the stage and flinging his hair and doing all this crazy stuff and getting those notes and all that stuff, and now he's kind of in a wheelchair. He was hurt in a okay. So I'm being corrected by Wesley. He sat down for like 6 months. Uh, but anyway, I don't know. When they get that old, it's kind of. I think Rolling Stones are about the only exception as far as like being old guys on stage playing. I've always envisioned the Rolling Stones as old guys anyway. So when they get up there, it's just like norm for me. But if you ever watched MTV growing up and you got to see Axl Rose on stage in his videos, it's just completely different. Oh, he has Parkinson's disease. I didn't know that. I didn't know Ozzy had Parkinson's. I know Michael J. Fox has it. Oh, and then but you know, we can't use stem cell research to cure stuff like that because you know the whole life thing. Um, but anyway, yeah, Parkinson's. That's a tough disease, man. That's hard. Do we have anybody here from another country that we haven't visited yet? Do we have any newbies on here that we can talk about on our little map up here? Let's take a quick look at the map. Bring you guys up there and let you guys see it. So, as you can see, it has a lot of glare. But there's Texas, Kansas for Ray. We got Illinois and Georgia. I know I'm missing a couple of states. I scratched off the UK and Morocco and, of course, India. And but as you scratch them off, like a lottery ticket, the color comes out from behind and highlights it for you. Has all these different little islands listed as well that I doubt we'll ever get anybody from. I know there's a couple of places here in Africa that, yeah, that I have not scratched off. Loki, where are you? What state are you in? Did I not scratch off? Please remind me. I doubt we'll get anybody from China or North Korea. I know we got people from Australia, but I don't know what part of Australia. And then we got people in Canada, but I don't know which part of Canada. You said Saskatchewan? Is that this guy right here? Am I looking at that right? Is that you, Loki? It just says SK. I'm not very good with my geography. You'll have to assist me with that. If that's the case, we'll get it scratched off for her. Okay, let's get my little scratching tool here. And we'll get him. Ah, your color's green. We'll get that going here. Get him highlighted as well. And I'll clean it up, make it nice and neat later when I'm not holding the camera and stuff like that. But yeah, there it is. And I like how it breaks it down, different provinces and states and territories and things like that. And I'll clean it up later. And there we go. So there we are. We'll get I don't know if we'll get anybody in Greenland or Antarctica. Oh, and then we get to do the flag, country flag too. Where's the maple leaf? Oh, Canada. I just went over it, didn't I? It's hard to see. I don't have a. Oh, there's the maple leaf. So we'll get. Well, since we did a part of Canada. I'm still going to scratch this off and get the country flag going. So we got all these flags from all these countries around the world on here too, and I'll clean that up later as well. But there you go. There's Canada. And like I said, I've got Morocco, Great Britain, United States, India, and Australia scratched off. But I don't know what part of Australia our one guy is from. So, yeah. We'll get it all figured out. It's kind of like a goal for us to see if we can get these places scratched off. But, I think we can't just take people's word for it all the time. Once word gets out that we're trying to scratch off these countries, people just say they're from certain places. So I thought we would kind of put that up as a collective decision if we believe the person in question is telling the truth or not, and then we'll scratch off their country. So, we'll figure it out as it goes on. I'm sure somebody will troll us or whatever and tell us, hey, I'm from that country. You should put mine up there, And we got somebody from Russia. Oh, well, there you go. I mean, their name looks like it's from Russian. That's a huge country to scratch off. That's a lot of scratching to go on for Russia. Well, the United States, I'll break down state by state. So, I need a pen. I have a pen. And then I don't want to consume the whole show with just writing down locations of places people have been. But we can start scratching these things off and add them to it. We can celebrate people from other countries coming in and visiting us. I think it's really cool. Isn't Abnorm from Canada as well? I can't remember if Abnorm's from Canada as well or not. I think he is. And we got Terry. He's out there probably driving right now. He is, okay. And then we got I can't pronounce your name from Yakutia in Russia. Welcome to you as well. Probably Toronto, I'm not sure. Yakutia from Russia. How do you say your name with the Germanic letters versus the Russian alphabet? English alphabet versus the Russian alphabet. Maybe you can help us out with that. So maybe we can pronounce your name properly. Show up a few times, and we'll see about scratching off Russia a little bit. We did have one person who was on here for a while. She said she was from Russia, but I haven't seen her in chat and comments in months. So, people come and go. I get it. You try to make some friends. Things happen in life. You're not supposed to be totally focused on this podcast by any means. I get it. But, you make friends. You want to see how they're doing. Time for me to get a refill on the coffee. I don't have my big mug. I'm actually using this one instead. But give me just a second. I'm going to go refill this thing, top it off real quick, and I'll be right back. You guys keep talking. Yeah, it didn't take too long. But anywho, you guys watched my cooking show last night? It was like a 20-minute live cast of me cooking some vegetables and chicken. Nobody lies about living where I do. Okay. Yeah, I guess Russia would be cool. When I was in Romania, which if you go to Romania and mention Russia, they're going to tell you they're not Russia. For some reason, people assume they're Russia. I wasn't assuming they were Russian either, but their architecture and things they have as far as buildings are definitely influenced by Russia. I can tell you that. Just the way things are built and laid out it's completely different than European or American type engineering and design, if you will. It just reminded me of some stuff that I'd seen on TV, things like that. How the architecture is just a lot different, and they have a different approach to it, which was very unique. And I noticed that when I was in Romania for a few weeks. I thought that was very interesting. So yeah, you drink Colombian coffee? Okay. Hey, there's Eric from the Stardashians. Hey Eric, how's it going, my man? I got a world map going on in the background. We're scratching off countries to come visit us during the live stream. Idiot Abroad. I have not seen Idiot Abroad. I need to write this stuff down. Let me get a pad of paper. Because you guys keep giving me suggestions for all kinds of stuff, and I never really follow through because mainly I can't remember. So, poor Eric lives down in Florida, complaining about the weather being 80 degrees in February, and living the gig life, all that kind of stuff, you know. But Idiot Abroad, is that a show or is that a movie? Sounds like it'd be a show. This pen just die on me? I just got this pen. There he goes. Idiot Abroad. No, but I have seen. Oh, he said Amarillo. You have your son has to go see a kidney doctor. Wow. I hope your son's okay. Well, you know, you can always vacation in your own country wherever you may be too. Like I say, there's plenty of places here in the United States that I can go visit and travel and see that I haven't yet. Mount Rushmore, the Grand Canyon, Yosemite National Park, you know, Niagara Falls, all these different places, you know, that I can go visit here in the States. I really don't have to travel abroad to have a you know, eventful trip per se. I don't have a passport. I don't know when and if I'll ever get one. I don't know. We'll just see. Only time will tell. But I do not have one. You know, the Army sent me everywhere I was going. I was going to say that Idiot Abroad, there was a show called The Kindness Diaries. I mentioned this before as well, where a guy, he has a mission to travel around the world purely on the kindness of strangers. So he has no money, no food. He's driving a motorcycle. He has a tank of gas to start with, and that's it. And he's traveling around the world. It's quite interesting. It's very inspirational as well. All the nice things that people he encounters in different countries he goes through, and how he, you know, it's very cool. They did 2 seasons. The second season wasn't as good as the first season. They tried to change it up, but yeah. Ricky Gervais is hilarious. Oh, a typical is. He's good though. He's got to go to visit for kidneys every 6 months. Well, we wish him the best, Wesley. You know, little guy there. I hope he does okay. At least you have somewhere you can go and get the treatment he needs. That's good. Ricky Gervais is hilarious. If you're on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it now, he's got a couple of Twitter feeds. And they're quite funny stuff that he puts on there. Some from his comedy shows, some from other little skits that he does. It's pretty funny stuff. And I know he has a different outlook on life, but yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I just think he's funny. He had a really cool show too. Oh, Marcus is on here. Hey, Marcus, he lives right down the street from me. How's it going, Marcus? Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. We're just you know, chatting away. You got to go take care of puppies. Well, that's right, buddy. You should send a picture of the puppies in the Discord that we got, Loki. I think you already have, actually. Quite a few pictures. Tells us straight up. Truth makes us. Yeah. Just be honest with it. Don't try to beat around the bush when you come into medical stuff. Just lay it out there. But I didn't know you were going through that, Wesley. And I guess that'll be something he'll have to go through the rest of his life, right? Big hound puppies. That's right. We have a Discord on here, too, if you're just joining us. You can log on to Discord. Keep chatting with the people you meet in the chat room there. You can exchange ideas, pictures, stories, whatever else on the Discord. People seem to be taking to it really well. It's in the description of the video if you ever guys want to join and just get to know each other. and share things on there. And it's just, the viewers of this channel, so you're not going to have a bunch of random people in there. I'm sure we may get a troll uh, here or there in the future, but it's not something we can't take care of. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, join the Discord if you like, and it's here for everybody to enjoy and stay in touch, which I think is really cool. What else was going to do about this day in history? Now we already did the day of history. Now the app's frozen. Of course it's frozen. Why would it just work? That'd be crazy. What's our quote of the day? Once you label me, you negate me. Soren, I can't do these names. Kierkegaard? I don't know. That's her in the top right there. That's her quote. Once you label me, you negate me. Yeah. Huh. And then there's a little story here saying that prisons across the world are shaving days off sentences for every book read by their inmates. So they're like a little bookathon. If you read a bunch of books, then you can get out of jail free, get out of jail early. That's in Brazil. They offered it to its incarcerated citizens as a simple deal. Read a book, serve less time. Remission for reading. Huh. I can see the benefit of that. You want to broaden people's horizons and expose them to the world with knowledge. It might reform them and give them a better outlook on what's going on in the world and what's happened in the past. I'm sure there's stipulation on which particular crime you committed to get in jail. If you're a murderer, you're probably not reading books to get out. But if you did robbery or something like that, or theft, you might be able to get out a little early by reading books and just kind of broaden your horizon, increase your knowledge. That could be people in prisons get degrees and stuff too, right? Reading criminals, they'll learn how to be more criminal. I don't think they're reading Dr. Seuss books. They're limited to how many they can read per year and how many days they get taken off their sentence. So they can't just sit there and binge read 500 books and get out the next day. So there are some stipulations to it. I'm not reading the whole thing, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Anywho. With some good talks. There's all these categories in here. And here's the little thing. It says, how to love yourself. 5 ways to let go of the riverbank and go with the flow. Like I said, it's all positive stuff on here. It lists 5 things to, embrace your natural state, let go of self-judgment, live in the present, trust the unfolding of the Tao, life's natural order, and cultivate inner stillness. I've heard of the Tao. It's a religious belief. It's very interesting. It's in my philosophy book, and it's just a different outlook on life. I don't quite remember every detail about it, but I do remember it being quite interesting. It's just go with nature's natural order in life. And yeah, they had to do a report on each book. I read that on there too. So they read a book and they can't just say, I read this book. No, they got to do a little book report, probably a little quiz or something regarding the book too, to prove that they actually read it. So yeah. No Mother Goose and Dr. Seuss. So. And then they have a segment on animals as well. So the Czech in the Czech Republic, the Czech region, they want to do a hydro project for farming, but they're using beavers to dam up areas and save millions of dollars in construction fees by letting beavers dam up places and flood it for hydroponic farms. Huh. Let nature do the work for you, right? Air conditioner repair manuals. He's like, learn how to be HVAC tech in prison while reading these books and taking classes. The night vision that I have, it's out in the truck. It's kind of a cheesy thing. It's not like the green image that you would normally see in movies and television regarding night vision. It's black and white. It does okay. It's a cheaper one. I just wanted something kind of tinker around with. Um, but I haven't ever really messed with it much. It was kind of a waste. Um, but I have it. I may play around with it some more. Everything's, I'm not really in pitch black dark where I need night vision. I was using it to spot the deer in my neighborhood in the middle of the night because they were they aggravated me so much. I wanted to be able to see if I could spot them coming in. What I really needed was like a FLIR, which does thermal detection, and it has night vision by thermal, by body heat, and things like that. So that could be really cool too. Targets really stand out if you've watched any military footage. Vietnam had red night vision, right? Night vision with Malcolm. How many different series and things am I going to have on this channel? We got cooking with Malcolm. We got coffee with Malcolm. We got lunch with Malcolm. We got do it yourself with Malcolm. We got bird watching with Malcolm. We got all kinds of stuff with Malcolm. It'd be a whole list. It'd be like a whole cable channel with shows all day long. You can keep watching all kinds of different things on this channel. I don't know. I did a little poll on the Discord and what people wanted to see next. And I named a few things. What do people want to see next? WTF News, name the song, DIY, or cooking. And people said cooking with Malcolm. And there's gaming with Malcolm as well. Car repair with Malcolm. Yeah. Once I get the rest of my tools, like I said, I want to mess with the old truck a little bit more. Get some things going on with it. And, but yeah. The DIY does pretty good as far as views and stuff on the channel. Exploring ruins with Malcolm. Oh yeah, it's all kinds of computer repair. Ah man, I'll probably, this computer I've had, this desktop computer I built 7 years ago, and I'm still playing games on it like it was built yesterday. Honestly, it boots up super fast. It'll play the games that I want to play, no problem. But it is getting to the point where I'll have to rebuild a new one simply because Windows has decided to phase out Windows 10, forcing everybody to go to Windows 11. And Windows 11 requires you to have a special chip on your motherboard or it won't load. So I would have to get a brand new motherboard, which would in turn mean I'd have to get all new components for the most part to build another computer and reload it with Windows 11. Of course, they phased out Windows 7 a long time ago. 8 was a complete disaster. And then 10 is pretty good. Everybody's gotten used to it, of course. Now they want to change it to 11. So, yeah. I can't remember the exact name of the chip, but you have to have a special chip on your motherboard to operate Windows 11. And when you buy these laptops and computers from the store, it's built in, obviously. But if you go out there and try to buy a motherboard on your own and do it, you have to buy the chip separately and install the chip onto the board in some cases. So it's kind of aggravating. I'm sure by now, I haven't really looked into it. I'm sure by now they have Windows 11 ready motherboards out there where you can build your own custom PC. I'm currently running Windows 10 on this computer. I have a laptop that runs Windows 11. I really don't see that big of a difference, honestly. They move the menu from the side to the middle. A few minor changes, but nothing really big. I just didn't see a big, huge change. It's just their way of forcing you to buy the next operating system and stay current with updates and upgrades and things like that. So, yeah. It's the chip. I can't remember the name of the chip, but it's basically an encryption chip that's supposed to make your operating system more secure. But yeah, I can't remember exactly the name of the chip. You're running Windows Vista. I've got an old laptop that's running Vista sitting here, and it will not play YouTube in any way, shape, form, or fashion, no matter what browser I install on it. And I can have the latest and greatest Chrome browser or Firefox browser, and it will not play YouTube videos. It just says it can't do it. The computer still runs. It has some old stuff from my Army days on it, so I keep it around. I just haven't taken the time to transfer all that stuff. I was going to use it to play my stuff in the background and increase my watch hours, but it doesn't work. So, Opinion 1 running 95. CIA, you'll never know. You'll never know. Well, I'm getting downgraded anyway, according to Trump. So everything in the government's getting downgraded and reduced and downsized. I shouldn't say downgraded, downsized. The people are being sent home and furloughed and laid off and early retirements and all this big cleanup they're doing in Washington right now. So I'm not worried about the post office. It's kind of government. It is federal, but it's not in a way. It's kind of weird how the post office falls into the federal government. We're not funded by taxes. We're funded by stamps and postage sales. So I don't know. I don't think they can downsize the postal service, even though he has been very adamant about his hatred towards the post office, especially his first term. So yeah. But have I ever gone? I did 2 combat tours in Iraq. And I think Marcus is a Marine. Once you're a Marine, always a Marine. You can't call him a former Marine. But he's prior service, Marcus. I don't know if he got deployed or not. I can't remember if he said he's been deployed or not. You paint somebody else's mailbox is it a federal crime? It's kind of like people talk about tampering with mailboxes being a federal offense, and if you get mail out of somebody else's box and steal mail, that could be a federal offense, and all these different things. Is it strictly enforced? No, but it's a rule and law that's out there. If they wanted to get an investigation started on you, and you would happen to do some of these things, they can use these rules to their advantage to bring you in and start doing more investigation or build a file against you and things of that nature. So, there's a quite a few laws out there here in the States that aren't strictly enforced, but they're there in case they need to use them and can use them if they want, type thing, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Hey, there's Ved. Hey, Ved. Ved is from, he's in Australia. Am I correct, Ved? We were just talking about our map, scratching off parts of Australia. We needed to know what part of Australia you're in so that I can scratch that part off the map and claim it on our visitor map. You're in India? I thought you were in Australia. Well, I've already scratched off India, so I got Ved and Ramesh from India. I don't know why I was thinking you were in Australia. But anywho, the map has been updated, and yeah. Are you going to pursue against Canadian Post to keep losing my mail? VK from your VK from Discord. Okay. It was his accent. You're right, Wesley. It totally threw me off. Good eye, Mike. It's like, was that really him? Oh man, I was like, there he is. I thought we had somebody from Australia on here for a change. So if you guys want to watch a show that's very inspirational, it's good for your kids to watch. It's very family friendly. It's not Disney type stuff. It really kind of exposes you to things around the world and kind of makes you appreciate what you have here in the United States, at least, and things like first world countries, and the way people act and react as far as helping others and stuff around the world. It's called the Kindness Diaries. I'll put it in the Discord. I think it's available on Amazon or Netflix, one of the two. And watch it. It's really cool. It came out quite a few years ago, but it's still relevant. It's still a really cool show to watch. And if you want to see a little hope in this world and all the craziness that's going on, that's a show that would help you kind of find that let you know there is a little hope in this world after all. So we're almost done. We're almost at 7:45. As you can see, the clock behind me here is ticking away. I have to go to work soon, but I thank all of you for hanging out with me today. We had a good little stream this morning. People want to visit a vacation in the USA at 47%. 7 want to go to Australia. 7 want to go to India, and 40% want to go to Japan. But again, like, share, subscribe, watch some of the other videos that I have on the channel. Give me some suggestions on Discord. You can email me at coffeewithmalcolm@gmail.com. Thank you all for joining me. As usual, I want you all to have a great day. Compliment a stranger. You might make somebody smile. And I'll see you next time. And here we go again. The X is on the other side.